So this video is to piggyback off of my previous video. And a verse that I've been sharing a lot lately about the end times is, "And great earthquakes shall be in divers places, and famines and pestilences and fearful sights and great signs shall there be from heaven." And I'll be honest with you, I didn't even know what a pestilence was. Like, that's kind of something I should have looked into, because, I've been sharing this verse so much, and I'm like, yeah, of course I know what an earthquake is, and famines, or, all this stuff, and I just kind of, like, read past pestilence, because I don't know what that means, like, that's not something I knew, so I just looked it up, and yes, we definitely have pestilences. Oh my goodness. It says here, pestilence is a deadly disaster, usually a disease that affects an entire community. Pestilence is contagious, virulent, and devastating. Have we had anything like that? Yes. You can say that. It's like the Bible might as well have just put in COVID-19 in there. Threw that in there. But what I actually wanted to talk about, aside from that part, was the famines part, because that is something I've been thinking about, because I've been pointing out so many earthquakes and tornadoes and hurricanes going on all over the world, but I haven't really, I'm not really sure, like, what to say about famines. I'm not sure what to do with that. And I don't know that we necessarily have a lot of that going on here in America. We can definitely say that for like third world countries, obviously, but I don't know about like everywhere, right? But it does say earthquakes in diverse places, so some of these things may be just in diverse places, right? I should look up diverse. Okay, so I figured, yeah, it just means various places or in different places, right? So, of course, are there earthquakes in various places? Yes. I love that. I love when you don't fully understand, like, the full reality, the full context, or how do I word that? Like, everything in a verse, like, you know enough to know that it's real, to know that it's true, but you may not know everything that the verses are talking about. And I just love that when that happens, when you're like, I should look more into this and try to understand what some of these words that I don't know mean. And then you look it up, and it verifies, like, yes, this still makes sense. In fact, it makes even more sense. It's just cool. But famines. Now, this is not something you guys are going to love, I don't think. I don't know what all is going to happen, and I'm not saying this is a "thus saith the Lord," at least not from me, but there's been a lot of reports from Christians online warning of people taking food away. Like, the government is taking like millions and millions of pounds of food and doing all these crazy recalls and all of that. And that's probably very biblical and probably going to cause famines.
The U.S. government, under the National Defense Authorization Act, has been gone to food companies and taken control of their supplies. This has happened for a while. Quayle revealed that literally moving all the food to secret underground facilities. The reason we know is we know a lot of the truck drivers that are doing it, and they've been bringing it in there for a while, storing it in the bunkers. This is what's happening in Russia and in China. They know what's coming. Listen to me very clearly. That's why the Lord has warned us about these people and what they're getting ready to do. They're literally moving all the food to secret underground facilities, often through covert logistics networks known as Secret Highway. Over 100 million pounds of food has already been transferred to these bunkers, with more expected to follow, including right now still happening. Quayle emphasized that the significance of these actions, starting that this is not merely a case of food recalls gone wrong, but a systematic effort by the government to remove essential resources from public access. including bullets and stuff like that. That's why we had this low on the bullets and all that stuff. Remember all that? That there was not a low in it. It was them taking it off the shelves and getting it to these bunkers. Now remember, the Antichrist will use all this food to gather people to get the mark when all this stuff happens. This horrible day, this catastrophe we've been warning you about, and that God's been warning all these people from around the world that it's coming. That what they've done is they've been hoarding up all this food and supplies. Now, once we're gone, the grocery stores are gone. I'm telling you right now, they're gone. I've seen it. So they will have food in these camps, but there will be a price to pay for it if you're still here. That's why we tell you, get saved today and don't have to be here.
So we may be out of food soon. I don't know. I don't take what I'm saying and go like, oh, if we don't run out of food, then this guy's a liar. It's like I'm just trying to help you guys understand, because a lot of people aren't paying attention to the signs and all of that. And yeah, you may want to stock up on food while you can, because I don't know just how soon, if like how soon Jesus is gonna, we're gonna be raptured up, caught up. I don't know how soon, but I just know it's soon. But there could be some crazy times ahead before that happens. I mean, we've all already obviously went through some crazy times. Obviously, 2020 being a good example of that. And there's a big talk about a bird flu or chicken flu or something that's going to happen, or I think already has started.
We typically go through about 30 dozen eggs in a week, 1 week. And lately we've been struggling a little bit because prices are way up and also availability is way down.
Down in Massachusetts, signs at a Stop and Shop grocery store say bird flu is to blame. In fact, prices have increased throughout the year, according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics.
13 million birds just in the last 30 days. When you lose that many birds that are laying eggs, there is an instant impact on food supply.
New Hampshire's state veterinarian says there's an upswing in avian flu cases across the country.
I heard something about like there's hospitals, like the hospitals in China are filled up because of this new flu thing. So it's already happened, and people are saying that it's like this planned out thing, and that this is just them pulling another 2020. I'm not gonna say for sure. I don't. That's way above my head. I don't understand. I'm not gonna pretend that I know how all the behind the scenes stuff go, like what all is planned and what all is like an attack or whatever. I don't know. I'm just gonna report that what I know. But yeah, the food thing it's kind of crazy, because it's like the Bible does say that in the last days there's gonna be famines, and does that just mean? I mean, it's probably not just third world countries, because like that's kind of always how it's been, right? So like the Bible's saying like this is going to be something new, like something happening in the last days where there's going to be famine. So it's probably not just third world countries, right? So I mean, I haven't personally went through any famines, but like this is all very new news. Like the last week, the last couple days, last day, like about them taking all this food away, and like this is stuff that I believe that there's been people like warning, Christians warning about this about to happen, like they knew from God or something. But it's gonna get nuts. I don't know. It may get nuts for us. I don't know what all is gonna happen before we get raptured up. We may not get raptured up for, just to throw a random number out there, another year, and we may go through, life may flip upside down in the next hour, who knows, and we could go through a whole year of just insanity before the rapture. I don't know. I can't tell you what's not told to us in the Bible, right? I mean, people can tell us things that God tells us through dreams and all of that, but there's only so much I know. I will say that, if you saw that, I included a clip in my last video of this fire explosion in the sky. that was just caught on December 16th. That looks so much like one of the dreams I was talking about, one of my rapture dreams, like this big fire explosion in the sky. Like, honestly, that's like what I saw. Like, because I've been talking about a lot about fireballs, which I believe God maybe meant meteors, fireballs. But like what I saw in my dream, I did see fireballs, like actual meteors too. So, but like I also saw like explosions. So I believe it's probably going to be a lot more of that, a lot of meteors and explosions. Now, I'm not saying, I don't want to promise you anything, because if that doesn't happen, well, that's not a good look. I don't want to be dishonest with you guys. I'm just trying to say what I understand or what I believe God's telling me. And yeah, but no, that's crazy how much, like, I can't, it's so surreal, it's so weird to see things that God's showing you in dreams and then seeing them happen in real life. Like, it's weird. I don't know, but God's warning us, and he's even giving people dreams and visions, people that aren't even saved. Like, I've heard some pretty crazy things. It's wild. And I've also just, I knew somewhat. I've heard some stories about rivers being like blood red. But yeah, I just found out, like, it's not just some, like, it's been in many places. So I think you should check this out.
Peru, India, Siberia, Lebanon, Canada, Israel, United Kingdom, Jamaica, France, Russia, China. How much more evidence do you need to believe that God exists? I pray that you get right with him. God bless.
It's crazy, right? God bless you guys. Peace. Jesus is returning soon. God loves you. Get right with God. Today is the day of salvation. You may not have another moment. Even if you don't turn to God before the rapture, you might not even have enough time. You may pass away before the rapture happens, so don't wait to get right with God then. You know what I mean?
Again, we've been fortunate recently. Doesn't mean we will always continue to be.
Back at the bake shop, Nickerson says she's hoping everything goes back to normal quickly.
Eggs are a necessity, and that's the hard part of it.